Colregs, Regulation 1. Application, full explanation. International Regulations for Preventing Collisions at Sea, 1972, as amended. Paragraph 1. Where and to whom the rules apply. Original text. These rules shall apply to all vessels upon the high seas and in all waters connected therewith, navigable by seagoing vessels. Explanation. This paragraph sets the main scope of the Colregs. It tells us exactly which ships must follow the rules and where these rules are valid. First, the phrase apply to all vessels means every type of watercraft is included, no exceptions. It does not matter how big or small the ship is, what it is used for, or which country it comes from. Under the definition in Regulation 3, Ampere's vessel means any kind of boat or floating object used to carry people or goods on water. This includes large cargo ships, tankers, passenger ferries, navy ships, coast guard boats, fishing boats, yachts, speedboats, small dinghies, rafts, hovercraft, and even seaplanes when they are floating on the water. Whether you are sailing a small fishing boat near Manado or steering a big ship across the ocean, the same rules apply to you. This is very important. If different ships followed different rules, there would be confusion and many accidents. Second, the rules cover two types of water areas. High seas. This means all parts of the ocean that are outside any country's territory. These are international waters, and here, Colregs are the law for everyone. Waters connected therewith navigable by seagoing vessels. This means any river, bay, canal, estuary, or lake that connects to the sea and is deep and wide enough for large ships to travel through. For example, big rivers, ports, and channels leading to the ocean are all included. However, small, shallow lakes or rivers that big ships cannot enter are not covered. The purpose is simple. When a ship travels from a port, down a river, into the open sea, and to another country, the rules stay the same all the way. There is no change or break in the rules along the journey. Paragraph 2. Local rules and inland waters. Original text. Nothing in these rules shall interfere with the operation of special rules made by an appropriate authority for roadsteads, harbors, rivers, lakes, or inland waterways connected with the high seas and navigable by seagoing vessels. Such special rules shall conform as closely as possible to these rules. Explanation. International rules are general, but local waters often have special conditions, like narrow channels, strong currents, or heavy traffic. This paragraph allows local governments to make extra rules, but keeps everything safe and consistent. The appropriate authority means the government or maritime office of that country. In Indonesia, this is the Ministry of Transportation or local port authorities. They can make special rules for roadsteads, safe areas near the coast where ships anchor while waiting to enter port, harbors and ports, confined areas with piers, berths, and many ships moving close together, rivers, lakes, and inland waterways, channels that are narrow or have changing depths. These local rules can add extra details, such as speed limits inside harbors, one-way traffic directions, special places to anchor, when and how to pass other ships. But there is one very important rule. Such special rules shall conform as closely as possible to these rules. This means local rules cannot change or break the international Colregs. They can only add to them or explain things more clearly. For example, Colregs say, when meeting head-on, both ships turn right. A local rule cannot say turn left. That would be dangerous and illegal. But a local rule can say, in this river, all ships must stay close to the right bank and not overtake. This follows the same idea and adds extra detail. If a local rule does not explain something, you must follow the international Colregs. This way, ships from other countries always understand the rules, and safety stays the same everywhere. Paragraph 3. Special rules for warships, convoys, and fishing fleets. Original text. Nothing in these rules shall interfere with the operation of any special rules made by the government of any state with respect to additional station or signal lights, shapes, or whistle signals for ships of war and vessels proceeding under convoy, or with respect to additional station or signal lights or shapes for fishing vessels engaged in fishing as a fleet. These additional station or signal lights, shapes, or whistle signals shall, so far as possible, be such that they cannot be mistaken for any light, shape, or signal authorized elsewhere under these rules. Explanation. Some ships work in special ways that normal rules do not cover. This paragraph allows governments to make extra rules for them, but only if safety is kept first. 3 groups are mentioned. First, warships and navy ships. Military ships have special duties and may need extra lights or signals to talk to each other or stay safe during operations. Second, ships sailing in convoy. This means a group of ships traveling together, often protected by navy ships. They need extra signals to change speed or direction together. Third, fishing boats working as a fleet. When many boats work together, for example, surrounding fish with big nets, they need extra lights or shapes to show they are connected or cannot move freely. These ships must still follow all normal Colreg rules and show all standard lights and shapes. They are only allowed to add extra signals. They cannot remove or change the required ones. The most important safety rule here is these additional signals cannot be mistaken for any light, shape, or signal authorized elsewhere. This means extra lights or sounds must look or sound completely different from standard signals. For example, a Navy ship may use a special flashing light to talk to other Navy ships, but this light must be a different color or flash pattern than the normal navigation lights or distress signals. If it looks like a distress signal, other ships will get confused and think there is an emergency. This rule stops mistakes and keeps everyone safe. Paragraph 4. Traffic Separation Schemes, TSS. Original text. Traffic separation schemes may be adopted by the organization for the purpose of these rules. Explanation. This short paragraph is very important in practice. It officially makes traffic separation schemes, TSS, part of the Colreg rules. A traffic separation scheme is like a highway at sea. It is a system of lanes where ships travel in one direction only, separation lines or zones between lanes to keep ships apart, special areas for crossing or turning. These schemes are placed in busy or narrow areas, such as the Straits of Malacca, to organize traffic and stop head-on meetings. The organization means the International Maritime Organization, IMO, the United Nations group that makes global shipping rules. Only schemes approved by the IMO are official and must be followed. Regulation 10, later in the rules, explains exactly how to sail inside a TSS. This paragraph confirms that TSS are not just advice, they are law. If you drive in the wrong lane, you break the rules, just like if you did not keep a proper lookout. Paragraph 5. Exemptions for special ships. Original text. Whenever the government concerned shall have determined that a vessel of special construction or purpose cannot comply fully with the provisions of any of these rules with respect to the number, position, range, or arc of visibility of lights or shapes, as well as to the disposition and characteristics of sound signaling appliances, such vessel shall comply with such other provisions in regard to the number, position, range, or arc of visibility of lights or shapes, as well as to the disposition and characteristics of sound signaling appliances, as shall be approved by that government, which shall have regard to the special function of the vessel. Such compliance shall be as close as possible to the requirements of these rules. Explanation. Not all ships are built in the standard way. Some have special shapes or jobs that make it impossible to follow every rule exactly. This paragraph allows limited exceptions, but only under strict control. First, only special ships qualify. Examples are heavy lift ships carrying very big cargo that blocks lights, dredgers, pipe layers, or offshore rigs with unusual shapes, high-speed craft or hovercraft. Very small boats where standard lights do not fit. Normal ships, like cargo ships, fishing boats, or ferries, cannot use this rule. If they do not want to follow the rules or find it difficult, this paragraph does not help them. Exceptions are only allowed when following the rules is truly impossible, not just inconvenient. Second, only equipment rules can be changed. You can adjust how many lights or shapes you have, where you place them, how far or at what angle they can be seen, what kind of whistle or bell you use. Navigation rules, like speed, lookout, or who gives way, can never be changed. Even a special ship must sail and behave exactly like every other ship. Third, there is a strict process. First, the owner proves to their government that full compliance is impossible. Second, the government checks the design and purpose. Third, the government approves a new plan for lights and signals. Fourth, this new plan must be as close as possible to the original rules. Safety cannot be reduced. For example, a heavy lift ship may have a tall cargo that blocks the front light. The government may agree to move the light to the side or add extra lights, but it must still be clearly seen and understood by all other ships. This rule lets special ships work, but never at the cost of safety or confusion.